Okay, today on ATM TV we have Don Short. Don, could you start by giving us a little bit about your history, your brand, what you're doing, any new products, and just a little bit about yourself, please?
Yes, Warren, thank you. Thanks for shooting your video here today. So, we're an artisan spirits company here in Dallas, Texas, about 10 minutes from downtown. We make Roxor artisan gin and the world's first Roxor botanical bourbon. So it's a really interesting story. I spent my first 31 years at Coca Cola managing businesses all over the world. I finished in Houston, Texas. My best friend and chef that I worked with was Robert Del Grande, who has not only a James Beard awarded chef, but he has a PhD in biochemistry. So as I was getting ready to retire, I said, listen, if you'll do the science work, I'll go create the brands. And so that's what we've been doing. We've been making the gin for 10 years, only the bourbon for about a year, and we bought our distillery about a year and a half ago.
Beautiful. What gave you inspiration to start a distillery? You know, he got the degree, he knows the science behind it, but what made you say, hey, this is what we want to do?
Well, we came out and I felt like I knew beverages from Coca Cola, so that was the easy part. So I said, let's apply our learning then to either beer, wine, or spirits. But if you think about it, a beer bottle or a wine bottle are almost always the same, so you differentiate it by the label. But if you go to spirits, you have the ability to create your own package. In this case, this is called the Skyline bottle, and it's a toast to the architects that create the skylines of our lives.
Oh, beautiful.
So when I started at Coca-Cola, we said, when the lights go out and you reach in the fridge, you'll know the Coke bottle by that contour shape.
Yeah.
So we wanted to have this. When you reach for the bar card and the lights go out, you'll feel the windows of this bottle because it's designed after a building. So that was the inspiration of the package. And then Robert's use of real plants. We only use real plants to make our spirits. So the gin has 12 real plants, including fresh grapefruit and lime peels. And the bourbon has small doses of 20 exotic botanicals that are finished in the barrel with the bourbon.
Well, let me ask you this. Is that something unique to your company? When somebody usually makes spirits, are those plants, do they have hormones or other things to help them grow faster?
Many times they'll use flavors and extracts, which are fine. They still have a similar flavor, but we think the flavor of this with the real plants is what's so unique about it. And then nobody that we're aware of is using fresh peels of grapefruit and lime. So when you smell the nose of this gin, you get a beautiful citrus nose on it. So yes, both products are unique, both packages are unique. We're doing tours here at the distillery and even shooting great videos like yours.
Beautiful. Where could they find those products?
Everybody in Texas you can find the gin almost everywhere, whether it's Specs or Total Wine or Goody Goody or Seagulls. They're all available. The bourbon is in limited release, so you can buy it at the distillery, and we have a few Specs that have it, a few Seagulls that have it. But we're limiting the supply of this. It's a unique product, and we love for people to come by the distillery so we can tell them our story.
When do you do the tours? Is it Monday through Friday? Could they get the address so they know where to find you?
Absolutely. You'll go to the website, New Artisan Distillery, and we're open Monday through Saturday, usually 12 to 5 for tours. Open for an event space at night, so we do events many nights, so bring your corporate group, your music group, your church. We've had weddings, we've had wakes for funerals. So it's just a great space, as you see, to come have an event.
Don, where are you originally from?
I'm a North Carolinian by birth, so grew up, went to high school, went to college, North Carolina. Started working for the Coca Cola company right out of college. Moved 7 times in the United States in 14 years.
Oh, wow.
And then we went to Tokyo for 5 years. I was senior VP. I was CEO in India after that for 3 years. And then I was CEO for Africa and the Middle East after that. So I was fortunate enough to even meet President Mandela.
Oh, wow.
So usually most of the presidents in Africa, Coca-Cola employs probably more people than anybody in the sub-Saharan continent. And I was just fortunate enough to get to know lots of people there.
That's beautiful. And being from North Carolina, are you a Tar Heels fan?
I'm a Tar man, ACC all the way. But I'm one of those that if Carolina loses during the playoffs and Duke's still in it, I root for Duke.
Oh,
but I'm an ACC loyal guy, and I grew up as a kid. I never missed watching basketball every Saturday of my life.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, we may have a rivalry, you and I. You're a Coca Cola man. My dad was a Pepsi man growing up.
Oh, man.
But here's one thing. Coca-Cola is the #1 beverage brand in the world.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that.
Right. Well, your dad did well for being a Pepsi man because you're a fine young man.
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Now, coming from North Carolina, I believe I visited once. I'm an Air Force veteran.
Okay.
Fort Bragg, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
I grew up 1 hour from Fort Bragg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They did a lot of the jump training there.
Exactly.
Exactly. I was on a joint mission there, so I got to see a little bit of North Carolina. Beautiful place.
Pretty, isn't it?
Now, between North Carolina and Texas, which do you prefer, the great state or North Carolina?
Well, we always call North Carolina a great state, too. So, you know, I have more than one child, and I can't pick between either one of them. I love them both. So I must tell you that I love North Carolina, I love Texas, and actually, if I had to pick a city, I'd probably go back to Tokyo tomorrow. It's a wonderful place to live.
Beautiful, beautiful, and that's a great answer. Do you have a music preference? What is your favorite?
Yeah, so at the distillery, Warren's asking if I have a music preference. We're pretty much a retro soul house here, so usually you'll come in, and it'll be unusual that you won't find old soul playing. I'm on a Bobby Womack kick lately, and I don't know if you knew, Bobby Womack's song that he sold to the Rolling Stones was their first hit. And so I blend soul, but then I'll move into rock and roll. Some buddies have come over and recorded their hip-hop videos here, so this local Dallas scene we actually try to support. We're supporting Money Waters, Mr. Lucci, Mr. Pookie, even had the DOC was over here for a video shoot. So we think those OGs of Texas, particularly the Dallas Oak Cliff scene, we need to raise them up to make sure everybody knows who they are. Because Houston, as you know, kind of can get a bigger love, but the Dallas scene is a good scene.
Yeah, it's about paying homage to those who paved the way for you.
Exactly.
So it's good to see that you're really involved in the community and paying homage to those artists. Yep. Let me ask you this. What values are important to you when you think about the kind of business that you're running?
So the values, that's probably the most important question you could ask me. Is not about are we making money and all that. It's what value system do you bring? So we're a mom and pop family business. My wife still does the flowers every day, and we always have fresh flowers. But the values is when you come to our distillery, you're a guest in our house, and we want you to feel like you're the most important person while you're here. So we take a lot of care to make sure that you have an enjoyable experience, whether it's our cocktails, whether it's the tour, whatever it is. Our house is your house, and we want you to leave knowing that you found a friend and can be a friend for life.
Most certainly. And I'll tell you what, you said you want them to feel like guests. Honestly, when we arrived here, we felt like family. You were very welcoming. When I first arrived, you said, do you need any help getting the gear out the car? Is there anything I can assist you with? From the second that I walked in, I felt like I've known you my entire life. So you're a person that really makes people feel welcoming. And I'd recommend it to anybody that's looking for a venue, for nice spirits. This is an amazing, amazing spot to visit. What's your favorite part of making spirits?
Our chef, who's the PhD, he lives in Houston, but he comes up for every run. And so the ability to work with him with the stills, and they're beautiful 300-gallon stills we make the gin in, the ability to source the real plants. I grew up rooting azaleas with my mom as a kid, so everything about plants my whole life I've enjoyed, and the same with the chef. And now the beauty of this whole thing is my youngest son is now in the business, Will, who you've been talking to, and he's on his way to a event today, but I told him I would pick this up. So, but to have him come in and start taking over the business is God's gift to us, man. that's just a pleasure.
That's beautiful. That's very beautiful. Father like son. Have you visited the botanical gardens, the Dallas Botanical Gardens?
I have. I've been here and in Fort Worth, and my eldest son just got married in New York, and his wedding reception was at the Brooklyn Botanical Garden. So everything when it comes to plants, we're all in, man. So that's why we think real plants make better spirits, and that's our strategy of the company, and we're not going anywhere with that one.
And how long have you been in business?
We've been in business for the gin 10 years. So we're Texas' first gin. And if you don't like gin or know somebody that doesn't, this is the most unusual gin you've ever had. And I can have somebody who really doesn't like it leave here with a bottle, and they almost always do. And then the bourbon we just started in the last year.
What are you doing to market the brand?
So we're on social media. That's important to us. Many magazines have already interviewed us for that. We've shot several videos of people coming in wanting to collaborate with us. So, and at this point, what I want to do is just almost organically grow this, because now we have our base, so that when guests come in to see us, we can tell our complete story. And that begins this in a small way to just move the whole story and to begin to grow the franchise. So it's important.
And organic's the best way. And I tell you what, they say word of mouth spreads like wildfire.
Right.
So when you leave one person with a great experience, like you did with us, they're going to tell their friends, they're going to tell their business partners, and business is just going to boom. Do you have any plans of expansion?
Yeah, we're in Arkansas now, we're in Colorado, and we're just going into Southern California. So step by step, and then we're working on some new products that are really unique. So, but again, everything with plants. So we distilled some flowers a couple of weeks ago, and that's going to be an interesting angle on a new product. So, yeah.
Now, are those new products top secret, or can you give us a hint
They're
of what's
top
going
secret,
on?
man. I have to kill you if I told you. No, they're top secret. So,
that's
but you
good.
come back and see us, Warren, and we'll have you covered.
Most certainly, and we really appreciate your time. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. It's been an honor to make your acquaintance. And could you tell them one more time, where can they find you in the local market and on social media?
Yeah, the brand is Roxor, so I want you to know that it is on the rocks, shaken or stirred. So that's a little nod to that. So it's Roxor. You'll find the gin in all liquor stores and many bars in Dallas-Fort Worth, in all of Texas. And the bourbon, you come by the distillery to snag a bourbon. We sign both bottles for you while we're here, give you a great gift bag, and you'll begin to find this in a few stores. We're just beginning to release it. So again, Warren, thank you, and best wishes on a successful video launch.
Is there anything else you want to tell the people?
No, I just would say check out this man's video that's coming, because it's really great. I heard him singing, and I vouch for him wholeheartedly. Let's give him some love. So thank you, Warren. Appreciate you, bro.
We really appreciate it.